Good evening, fans, and welcome to the first round of the 2009 CIF playoffs, Division II AA. We are here at Leuzinger High School, home of the Olympians, as the Olympians are hosting the Servite Friars from the Trinity League. Rashawn, this is going to be an interesting matchup because Servite's coming in 5-21 overall, 0-10 in that tough Trinity League.
Yeah, the Trinity League, as you mentioned, is tough. It features the #1 team in the nation, the modern-day Monarchs. They ended up running the table. They finished the regular season 26-0, and also another Trinity League championship. But Servite comes into here a little bit beat up, and I don't necessarily mean physically, but I mean if you look at their numbers, you look at their record, and you say, oh my, how did this team end up in the playoffs? They've lost 11 in a row, including, as you mentioned, going winless in the Trinity League. Just 5-21 overall on the season, but with the new alignment, the way things got changed in CIF Southern Section, with 2 more divisions being added, that opened up the floodgates for more teams like Servite to be able to get in, so we'll see.
We'll definitely see. Now, one of the things for Servite is that they've got one of their leading players back, John Russo, who had not been with them throughout most of the season. I asked Coach Reggie Morris in the pregame, how do you look at a team that's 5-21 and take them seriously? And you know what he said? Records don't matter. All that's out the window. It's a brand new season. And like you said, he recognizes the fact that they played in the very tough Trinity League. Let's talk about Leuzinger now. First round home game for a team that's seeded #2. What should the fans expect from them tonight?
But Rufus, as you know, it's a far cry from last year. We all made the trek out to Santa Barbara to see that first round loss to San Marcos. A little bit different. Friendly confines of your own home. You got your home crowd here after you here in the first round, and they definitely deserved it. A stellar regular season. They set themselves up to have a good postseason. But as you said, you wipe the slate clean. The whole new season begins right here tonight. DeLon Wright. His minutes may be cut a little bit. He won't be in the starting lineup tonight because he's a little aggravated by the flu. But Julian White also, he's a player, doesn't really see many minutes, but he won't be in the lineup at all. He has class tonight. But besides that, Leuzinger should be ready to go.
Well, the one guy that will be ready, we saw him in warm-ups, got a chance to see his dad in the pregame, and that's Jerry Evans. Jerry, of course, feature story on Jerry in today's Daily Breeze, along with Donnelly Minor and Julian Wheeler. So they've got the makings of what should be a good team for tonight.
Yeah, whenever you talk to Coach Morris, he says, if Jerry plays well, we usually play well. And that's a good sign. If your leading scorer, Jerry Evans, averaging nearly 16 points per game, if he comes out here and if he's able to get hot and get things going early, it should be a good time for Leuzinger here tonight in front of the Olympian faithful.
It should be, and fans, we're going to be right back with first half action on Hawthorne Lawndale's Community Cable Channel 22. And just so you know, there's another game across town where we've got the Lawndale Cardinals playing first round as well. So stay right where you are, Hawthorne Lawndale's Community Cable Channel 22. We'll be right back. Okay, fans, we're back. We're here at Lou House. We've got the starting lineups being introduced for both teams. We can tell you that the starting lineup for the Servite, the Friars of Servite, I should say, they are John Russo, number 30. He's a senior. He's the guy that makes this team go. Joe DeZita is a senior, and the other starters we may have missed is Troy Nicholas. That's Troy Nicholas being introduced now, and we'll certainly meet him as the game goes along. But we know that you came to see the Olympian 5, and we're going to tell you who they are in just a moment. First out of the box is number 32, Donnelly Minor, averaging 10.3 a game. Julian Wheeler, another transfer, number 24. Wheeler also averages 10 points a game. William Overton, who's really earned a spot in this program, Rashawn, is now getting a start tonight, and I think he's actually one of the very best players. Larry Dennis, of course, at the point. And the big man, the man who everything orbits around, number 2, Jerry Evans.
And you see Jerry right there, and you see this crowd pretty pumped up here tonight, Rufus. The players as well. It's playoff time. It's that time of the year, and it's win or go home, and you gotta love that. You know, walking into the arena, into the gym today, you get that weird kind of feeling that you get during high school playoff time, because this is the only show in town. There are no lower level games to be played. There's nothing. It's just the show, just the varsity guys here right here. So when you come in, the gym's empty. As players, you have a lot more time to warm up than you would during a regular season game. You got a lot more time to think about, you know, what's going on. You got a lot of time to get out on the floor, feel the ball, be able to get some shots up, and that's for both teams. Also the visitors as well. Usually don't get too much time to shoot around when you come into the opposing gym, but during the playoffs, it's a little bit different. So tonight should be very interesting.
I think you're exactly right, Rashawn, and it will be as we prepare for the tip. Our officials for tonight's contest, John Henderson is the R. He's tossing it. Leuzinger controls the opening tip. Jerry Evans with the opening shot of the game comes off. Offensive rebound goes to the Olympians. They get it back out to Evans. His second shot is up and in.
And we talked about it in the pregame. Jerry Evans starting early. 2 quick points.
Turnover by Servite there. I should tell you that these officials, and let me finish that thought, John Henderson and Dwayne Finley, and they're out of the San Fernando Valley unit. And one thing about being out there, they're used to seeing this style of ball with some of those Valley teams, some of those very good Valley teams.
Yeah, you got Taft out there, you got Reseda, Simi Valley. So they're used to seeing some fast tempo, up and down type action.
Basket by Servite makes it a 2-2 game. Jerry Evans with his third shot. So far, he's 1 for 3 from the field. Julian Wheeler unable to control the rebound, so Servite will inbound it. That's Russo with the inbound, gives it over to Richard Supine, number 15. He's their leading scorer on the season, averaging 19 per game. That shot put up and in by DeZita. He's a captain, senior. Donley Minor's three-pointer doesn't go. The Olympians in the early going, 1 for 4. Minor comes back on the other end, though, after missing the shot, Rashawn, and makes it an outstanding defensive play. Jerry Evans now 1 for 4 on the night, gets fouled on the attempt.
You see Jerry
Leuzinger here at home, Rashawn, basket being a little unfriendly to him here in the first minute and a half of this contest.
Fouls on Zeta there that time, but Basket been a little bit unfriendly, but you gotta like the effort there. You gotta like the fact that they're crashing the offensive boards, and when they're doing that, you generate second, third opportunities for yourself. You put yourselves in a good position to succeed. Now, with that being said, I gotta say, if you're Servite, you need to have that one and done mentality. You don't want to give you don't want to give up second and third chances. You want to get one stop, get the rebound, and get out of there and start getting some things going on the offensive end for yourself. As Evans knocks down 2 free throws here.
And that's exactly what their coach, real friendly guy, Tim Kelly. Got to give him a lot of props. Gave us a lot of time before the game to kind of run through his team, what they do and what they're looking at. Russo on the defense. Can't do anything about it. Donley Minor scores 2, and the Olympians out to the early 6-0 lead.
One thing Leuzinger will do is get after it defensively, and we've seen the full court pressure from the opening tip.
And I said 6-0, it's actually 6-2. Shot put up by Russo, doesn't go down. Servite's gonna control it. That's Supine with the 3. As I mentioned, Richard Supine their leading scorer on the season, averaging 19, makes it a 6-5 ball game.
Yeah, Supon averaging 19 per contest as Jerry Evans hits the floor. That foul is going to be charged to Nicholas. His first personal, second team foul for Servite. But you got to guard Supon, though. He's their leading scorer. He finds ways to put the ball in the cup.
And Supon, in part, the leading scorer because of all the time Russo missed. That shot by Julian Wheeler from the three-point line doesn't go. And so, walking it up and giving it over to Supon. Supan's shot goes down, comes out.
I mean, that thing was halfway down before it came out. He got a good look at it. And you see the range there by Supon. He's not afraid to pull the trigger.
Jerry Evans with another shot. That's, I believe that's 6 for Jerry. 2 baskets and 2 free throws. And again, Leuzinger defense forcing a turnover. By my count, for Servite, that's 2 turnovers here in the early going.
And see if Leuzinger can take advantage of these turnovers now.
William Overton, again, one of my favorite Olympians with the jumper from the outside, makes it a 10-5 ball game.
There's Wheeler almost picking up the steal. You know, one thing about Servite, traditionally, they've always been a scrappy bunch. And they're not going to go away. They're going to fight. If you fight, they're going to fight back. You hit, they're going to hit back. And they'll scratch and claw their way. They're a very scrappy bunch, especially some of these juniors Coach Tim Kelly has. Coming up in the program, that's kind of what they breed out there on the Servite campus. So you got to know they're not going to go away.
Exactly, and for the fans who don't know, Servite is a Orange County. Here's a steal by DeLon Wright. He puts it up and in for the deuce, extends the lead now to 12-5. And this is what Coach Kelly was concerned about, seeing how his team would react to the pressure of the Leuzinger defense. That shot put up and in. Boy, you talk about off balance. That was one of the captains, Joe DeZeta. And now we've got a timeout being taken on the field, on the court, I should say. Timeout being taken on the court by Servite with 3:55 left here in the first quarter of this first round CIF Division II AA playoff game. Leuzinger hosting, leads by a score of 12-7.
And one thing you got to also know about the Servite team, they're not going to back down. They're not going to be, they're not going to back down from the environment. You know, they've been on the road. They've played in tough environments just in their own league. You know, they played in front of 5,000 at Mater Dei. They played in front of 4,000 at Orange Lutheran. So playing on the road and playing in hostile environments, rather, is nothing new for this bunch. It's just a matter of being able to keep their composure here, being so far away from home. And not only that, I mean, this is a team that's played the #1 team in the nation twice in Mater Dei.
Exactly.
So, but one thing that they won't, one thing that differs, though, from any of the teams that they've seen in the Trinity League is the athleticism of this Leuzinger team. You won't find a team more athletic than this Leuzinger team in many circles out here in Southern California. And in the Trinity League, there won't be a team that's more athletic than this Leuzinger squad. So that's going to be an adjustment for them to make up for.
Right, and I think you're exactly right, Rashawn. If you toss out 3 games, the 2 Mater Dei games, that shot put up and in by Devontae Norton makes it a 15-7 game now. So Leuzinger with a couple of substitutes. As you mentioned, DeLon Wright with the flu, but seeing some early action here in the first quarter. And Russo puts the deuce in, makes it a 15-9 game. 3-pointer put up by Minor, doesn't draw iron as it comes off the left side of the backboard. Akil Quinn, number 5, also in for the Olympians now. So they've got Jerry Evans, DeLon Wright, Akil Quinn, Donley Minor, and Devontae Norton on the floor. And Devontae Norton takes it to the basket against John Russo and scores the deuce.
5 points quickly for Norton here in the last couple of seconds. You got to like the way he attacked the basket against all those tall trees down there.
And now the sophomore, Wesley Adams, on the floor. Wesley Adams, number 34, a young man, Rashawn, that I've known for a long, long time through our one through NJB, and more so through Jack and Jill. His family and our family are friends, and I wish him the best. I don't wish they win, but I wish him the best. Good kid, though. And Coach Kelly was telling me he will undoubtedly be a starter on this squad next year, and he's their most improved player.
Rebound snatched by Russo. It's a young man, and Coach Kelly told us this is their best player. May not be the leading scorer, but he's their best player. You see him doing it all, rebounding, handling the ball, trying to get him in offense, also putting up points as well. Can't give him space, though.
Wow. Supan
Good thing
shoots
that
an
door
air
was
ball
open.
on that one. Jerry Evans comes down with the offensive rebound. He's going to be fouled on the play. That outlet pass, not exactly one of the premier ones we've seen, came up short. Devontae Norton had to wait for it to get there, and that gave the defense an opportunity to recover. But that'll send Jerry Evans to the line with 2:03 left in the first to shoot a pair.
He misses the first one. If you're Jerry and you get in that deep, you still want to shoot the basketball. He kind of flicked it, kind of aimed it a little bit. You still got to shoot the basketball. That's why that one came up a little bit short there. You see DeLon Wright in there suffering from the flu a little bit. Not wearing the sleeves tonight. First time I've ever seen him without the T-shirt on underneath.
And DeLon's dad, Ray Wright, taking his customary position up on the top row in the gym, usually on the visitor's side, or the side behind the bench. That's what I should say, to give you a fair description. The side behind the Leuzinger bench, and that's where he is tonight. Leuzinger cheerleaders also seem to be in playoff form tonight. Shot put up doesn't go. That was DeZita with the shot. DeZita's 35, Nicholas is 40. Finds Russo out top, outside the three-point line. Russo tries to back down Julian Wright. Now Larry Dennis with it, gives it over to Wright. Wright blows a layup, but there with the follow is William Overton. And that basket, which makes it 20-9, forces Coach Tim Kelly into his second time out here in the first quarter. And fans, if you're wondering, you only get 3 fulls and 2 20s, and he's already blown both of his 20s here in the first quarter. That could mean it's a long night for him.
Yeah, already down by 11 here on the road. 1:22 left here in the first quarter. But how about that play by Larry Dennis? He waited and gave it up at the very absolute last second. It was a nice pass. The finish didn't go, but good job by Will Overton to follow. As a coach, you always tell you guys, follow the play. You never know what's going to happen. And fortunately, Overton was there to clean up the mess.
Well, this team, this Reggie Morris coach team, is drilled to do that. And I can tell you, if you don't, you'll be sitting over there on the pine. Okay, Overton's going to get called for a foul real soon. Referee's already giving him the warning. Wes Adams with the layup off the pass from John Russo. Looking over to the far side, see Wes's mom over there. Don't see his dad yet, Leslie Adams. Supan gives it over to DeZita. DeZita against Dennis. Puts the shot up, it doesn't go. The follow doesn't go. And now we're going to have a foul called against Overton.
That foul on Overton, that's the first team foul for the Olympians here in this half. That's a little different. Normally when a team that plays pressure as much as Leuzinger does usually gets called for fouls quite often, but nothing here today. You look at the easy. Wow. Oh, but nice rejection by Jerry Evans. Donnie Miner had one too, but a good job by Zeta to stay with it.
But DeZita stays with it, and that basket brings them to 20-13. 35 seconds left here in the first quarter. Julian Wheeler with the 3.
And that's all set up by the penetration by Donley Minor that time.
Nice assist that time by Wesley Adams. Can't get it to go down, but going to the line to shoot 2 will be Troy Nicholas.
And that's 2 fouls on Overton here. As Nicholas will have an opportunity to go to the free throw line to shoot 2.
Nicholas is their second leading rebounder at 8.1 rebounds per game. Not much of a scoring threat, averaging only 5-4. And now coming in for the Olympians is Chandler, Lawrence Chandler, number 23. Lawrence is one of those type guys. I was talking to Reggie earlier, Rashawn. Great hustle guy, does all the dirty stuff. Reggie says it's just a matter of confidence for Lawrence, and boy, he'd be even a better player with a little more belief. Minor shot from three-point range doesn't go. Rebound comes off to Jerry Evans, but he can't get it up before the clock expires to end the first quarter. So here at Leuzinger, our score after one quarter stands 13-23, or better stated, 23-13 in favor of the Olympians. The Olympians led at one point by a margin of 12-7, Rashawn. Then they went on an 8-2 run to open up a 20-9 lead. Servite scratched their way back in it just a little bit, cut it 20-13 until Julian Wheeler hit the big three-pointer over here on the left side to make it 23-13.
That's one thing they'll do. They'll scratch and claw their way in back into this game. Only down by 10 here after the first frame. Leuzinger still kind of waiting on that spurt to try to run away with this thing, but as oftentimes that we've seen, usually that comes in the middle quarters, the second and third quarter, they find a way to open the game up a little bit. Meanwhile, Coach Kelly has done a good job of using his timeouts. Not afraid to use them here early in the early going here on the road. So if his guys can just kind of stay composed, stay under pressure, they may set some things up for themselves.
And a couple of the keys to the game from Coach Kelly's perspective, offensively for Servite, was to play a solid game, get good shots, and get to the free throw line. They did a little bit of all that, not enough, obviously, and that's why they trail 23-13 as the Olympians open the second quarter with Julian Wheeler inbounding to Larry Dennis, out to Jerry Evans, and swing it over to Dennis. He almost lost the handle, gets it back, drops it down to Donley Minor. Olympians a little loose with the ball. 35-second shot clock in effect. It's down to 17 right now. Plenty of time on the clock. Wheeler's three-pointer up and in. That's 2 threes for Julian Wheeler.
Yeah, as you mentioned, a little zone buster right there, Julian Wheeler. Servite shows a new look coming out of the quarter break. Little 2-3 zone, and Wheeler's there to knock down the triple. But here's a basket down low by Zeta.
Jerry Evans takes the shot from outside, can't get it to go. Big rebound by Donley Minor. He puts it up, and it rolls over the front edge of the rim.
How about the nice soft touch there by Minor? There's a friendly bounce for you.
Excellent touch by Minor. He, of course, going to Lamar University already. That's been decided. And Troy Nicholas called for the charge as Jerry Evans draws a charge. One of the stats on Max Prep, you know, is charges taken by league. And in the Bay League, Leuzinger had the number 1 through 5 player in the league for taking charges. That says something about their defense.
Yeah, it also says something about Coach Morse and what he's implemented here at Leuzinger in his second season. But you got to know, you got to play defense. If you don't play defense with Coach Reggie Morris, you're not going to play. Defense includes keeping your man in front, includes blocking out on the defensive glass, getting those rebounds, and, of course, like you just mentioned, taking charges. As DeAndre Ingram comes to the game, replace Chandler, and Ingram has been hurt. He's been hampered by a thumb injury, but he's back in the lineup. Talked to him before the game. He said he was okay. Into the game pretty early, much earlier than we've seen recently since the injury.
Donley Minor with the ball, penetrates the lane, puts up the jumper, takes a big bounce, won't go, and Jerry Evans tips it out of bounds. John Russo under significant pressure now. Ball taken away from Russo, and laying it up and in for the Olympians. That's DeAndre Ingram.
Man, that's a good way to get yourself into the ball game. And still, you leak out, and Donley Minor there to find you for DeAndre Ingram. 1-on-0 fast break, is able to lay it up. And how about this defense by Dennis? There's DeAndre picking up a steal.
Gives it over to Larry Dennis. He goes up for the basket, fouled on the play. Let's see who they give the foul on. Looks like they gave it on number 25, and listed in the program as number 25 for them is Jermaine Aruya.
Larry Dennis at the line right now, just a 57% free throw shooter on the year, just 17 out of 30 coming into tonight, but he gets both of them here. 17-point lead for the Olympians now here in this first half as Dennis picks up a cheap foul in the backcourt.
And that might be that spurt that you're talking about. Remember, it was 26-13, or 23-13, excuse me, to end the first.
Yeah, a little 9-2 run here to start the quarter. Yeah. Evans with a nice block.
Donley Minor with the basket. And now this thing's starting to get away a little bit from Coach Kelly's team. He's got some subs on the floor. Let's talk about who they are. Larry Dennis with the flop. The official doesn't go for it. Travel on the play, no call. Julian Wheeler. And right now, Julian Wheeler is the player of the game and being forced into another timeout. That's their third of the first half.
Yeah,
There's no limit on how many you can use in a half. And
but only for the game. Just one full 1:30 left for the game. We got 5:15 left here in this first half. And if you're Coach Morris, this is the film that you like to show during film study. This is where it all starts. On the defensive end, Leuzinger picking up steals for leakouts. Leuzinger picking up stops, getting defensive rebounds. That's leading to fast breaks and runouts. This is where it starts. All of this lead, this 13-2 run that they've used to start this second quarter here, all a result of their defense. And Coach Morris, you got to love it.
You absolutely do. And that's what they bring. You know, that was one of the things that Reggie said that they wanted to accomplish was a couple of things. One was to speed the game up, and the other one was to play their way. You know, one of the things he said is that well, first of all, we won't change now. We're going to play the game the way that we want to play it, or we're going to play the game we always play. No matter who they put in front of us, we play our style. That's a part of the old Wooden style. Wooden claimed he didn't even scout teams because we do what we do.
It didn't matter what the opposition does. It's all about what we do. And if we do what we're accustomed to doing, then usually we should be okay. That's that old philosophy. And for Leuzinger, so far, it's working here tonight. For Servite, not so sure.
Shot doesn't go for Aruya. Looks like it's going to be out of bounds to Servite, though. The team on the floor right now for the Friars. And now they're bringing in a substitute. They're going to bring in the big guy, Troy Nicholas. He's going to come in for Aruya. Supan's also going to come back in to the contest. as soon as the
You might want to
officials
watch Nicholas coming down and setting the screen for Leon to come to the basket. If you're losing, you might want to watch for that, as they're in this box set right now. Also, you want to watch for someone leaking out to the corner as well.
Russo takes the three-pointer from deep, hits the front of the rim, doesn't go. And back to Jerry Evans, slam dunk.
How about that? You like that, huh? Roy Gordon slowing up the little flip behind, and Evans with the slam. And here we go again.
Roy Gordon, Jerry Evans again.
Now, that's not a
Slam
replay.
dunk, baby. The route is on, fans. It's 40-15.
That's not a replay, ladies and gentlemen. Back-to-back possessions. Jerry Evans with the one-handed flush.
Didn't get any the other game against West, where we saw Hinckley, the big man for West, put on the show. But in this one, we've seen Jerry Evans in a span of about 10 seconds get 2 slam dunks, and boy, it's making it a tough going here in the second quarter.
And we talked about the infamous second quarters. Those middle rounds, so to speak, the second and third quarters for Leuzinger have always been so wonderful, especially here at the Lou House. It's kind of where they start opening things up, and then we got some little extracurricular activity going on now.
Official making sure it gets cleaned up right away. Good officiating by, as we mentioned, John Henderson and Dwayne Finley. That was Dwayne Finley with the call. Again, these guys out of the San Fernando unit.
You see a little double team with Russo. As soon as he touches, has to pass out of it.
Wow, there was a travel. Big guys not being ready to get the ball. And the pressure is definitely taking a little bit of the heart out of these guys. Russo's shot from distance doesn't go. Big man gets it, puts it up and in. That's Troy Nicholas. He's got 4 already, only averages 5 on the game. That makes it 40-17. Leuzinger had gone. Three-pointer put up. I got to tell you, I turned my head.
It's Roy Gordon, and he's feeling it right now. He's coming to the game. He's trying to get defensively after Russo. Had the nice pass to Jerry Evans, knocked down the 3. Here comes Dolly Minor. And I tell you, there's no stop, there's no quit. Minor attacks, nothing doing, but he's found to go to the line. But I tell you what, Rufus, no stopping, no in this Leuzinger attack. I mean, they come at you. They come at you in waves. These home fans have seen this year after year. If you're Servite, not really used to this in the Trinity League. Yeah, Modern Day can put up a lot of points, but as far as the athletes and the athleticism, you don't see this in the Trinity League.
Exactly. You truly don't. And what you see, you have the big dominating team in Mater Day with the Weir twins, both of them at 6'11", and certainly good players around them as well. All 5 of their guys got Division I scholarships. Okay, but they play a different style. When you got 2 6'11" guys, you're not getting this kind of pressure.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, you talked about Modern Day. They go 6'1", 6'5", 6'8", 6'11", 6'11". You know, that's like most college lineups. But as you said, they're not going to be doing much running as a foul or traveler rather on Wesley Adams. And you look at teams like Orange Lutheran, they like to get up and down a little bit, but they're not going to run. They're not going to consistently pressure you as much as this Leuzinger team does.
And over at Lawndale, our score at the half, Estancia visiting the Cardinals, lead 40-38 is a halftime score.
Estancia, another Orange County team coming down here to the South Bay.
Last year, of course, this very same Wesley Adams hit on the arm by Devontae Norton, so he's going to go to the line to shoot 2. Adams, a pretty good free throw shooter on the season, shooting 73% from the field. Gets the first one to go, makes it a 44-18 ball game. Just to give you some perspective, after it was 23-13, Leuzinger went on a 20-4 run. You ask for a run, Rashawn, you got to run. Nicholas with the rebound. Adams gives it off to Supan, their leading scorer. Supan tries to thread a needle. Wesley Adams with the shot, draws a lot of iron, doesn't go down.
Foul's going to be charged to Leon. That's team foul number 6. Team fouls are 6 apiece here in this first half.
But Junior Wheeler so far has been hot tonight. That's DeLon Wright with a 3. Wow, and we got it out of bounds here. Okay.
You like the effort by Wheeler, almost coming into us, going after that loose ball. You see a little trap here in the backcourt.
Supan under pressure, finally gets it out to Nicholas. His shot put up, doesn't go.
And I'm not sure if that wasn't deflected by Jerry Evans. And here's the break. DeLon Wright with the finish.
Boy, almost a layup drill right now, and DeLon Wright gets a turnover. Can't convert it, though. Boy, the easiest shot of the night for DeLon Wright. Now they force another turnover. Julian Wheeler scores the basket. Makes it a 51-18 game.
And that's 7 points here in the quarter for Julian Wheeler. And that's what they do defensively. They force you to take quick shots, and it leads to the break.
DeLon Wright with the 3, doesn't go. DeLon hits the floor. And now we got a foul being called. They call the foul on number 5, Akil Quinn. That's Leuzinger's. The scoreboard shows it as their 5th team foul. No, they have 5 timeouts.
7.
It's their 7th team
They'll be
foul.
shooting 1-and-1 right now, and it'll be Nicholas going to the stripe for a 1-and-1. But how about this second quarter, Rufus?
Wow, what can you say? Right now, it's a 28-5 second quarter in favor of the Olympians.
And I tell you what, this Servite bunch looks like a tired group right now. You look at them, they look fatigued, they look drained. The Leuzingers just come at them in droves.
And that's the whole point. They come and they keep coming and they keep coming, one wave after another, as you said earlier. And again, that was what, as I said, I talked to Coach about it. Coach Kelly, I'm talking about. He acknowledged that Leuzinger was very athletic. His goal was to try to keep him in front of him. Well, they've done that, except they've hit 3-pointers, you know. And it was to challenge everything and no layups. And that's the part they haven't been able to succeed at. And Julian Wheeler is our player of the first half for sure already.
That's 12 points already for him here in this first half. And 9 of them have come right here in this quarter. He's looking to add to it with the old-fashioned 3-point play. That foul's on Leon, 17 foul for Servite here in this first half. With 1 minute left, pretty much a mute point. Wheeler can't cash in on the 3-point play, but they just come at you. And Leuzinger has taken Servite out of everything that they wanted to do here in this first half, Rufus.
Well, shot put up by Adams, doesn't go, gets knocked to the floor for his troubles, gets up. Let's see, did he draw the foul or the foul? Okay, foul was called against Akil Quinn, and that's going to send Troy Nicholas to the line.
Just 5 points put up by this Servite team here in this second quarter. I mean, it appears that they're a little bit overwhelmed here. I mean, you kind of look at body language. You look at body language. You look at how guys are kind of facial expressions. They look a little bit overwhelmed here as Leuzinger has just come with a rush here in the second 8 minutes.
They certainly have, and you mentioned it when we opened the second quarter, that was their big quarter, as it's now 53-20.
A 33-point lead here. This is a 10-point game at the quarter break.
Shot clock still in effect, 14 on the shot clock, 25 on the game clock. Wow, and the defense of Servite forces a turnover against the Olympians. Adams took a little too long to get it up, down scrapping underneath. And they're going to say it went out of bounds.
And a nice block that time. Lawrence Chandler coming in getting Adams from behind. Nice block shot.
Well, if you're going to take your shot, you better take it quickly against these guys. You don't want to give them any recovery time. 3 seconds left now. That shot put up doesn't stay. That was DeAndre Ingram with the shot. And so as we go to the locker room at halftime, the Leuzinger Olympians leading by a score of 53-20 as they outscored them 30-7 in the second quarter. Rashawn.
What can you say about that second quarter? I mean, just incredible. Outscoring them 30-7 in the second quarter. Just a great job by Leuzinger here in the second quarter. Coach Reggie Morris has to be excited about what his bunch did here in the second 8 minutes. I mean, 30 points in a quarter? Are you kidding me?
Yeah,
I mean, it's just incredible, and it was all done on the defensive end, Rufus. All done on the defensive end. They took Servite out of everything that they wanted to do. In that first quarter, Servite was able to take their time, you know, with certain possessions, able to get looks, able to run through their stuff. I don't think they got a chance to run anything in this second quarter.
Nothing at all. Again, as you say, a quarter thoroughly dominated by the Leuzinger Olympians. And again, they go to the locker room leading 53-20. We're going to take a timeout right here on Lawndale's Community Cable Channel 22 as we holler at some of the football Olympians who are in the house. Everybody's here supporting the cause tonight. Touchdown Tony Sawyer just went by. Fans, stay right where you are. We're coming back after a pause for the cause on Hawthorne Lawndale's Community Cable Channel 22.
And welcome back to Leuzinger High School. It's halftime, third quarter just about to get underway. Rashawn Haylock here along with Rufus Washington. A spectacular second quarter has Leuzinger leading this one 53-20. Leuzinger outscoring Servite 30-7 in that second quarter. To go over the scores for you in the first half. Devontae Norton, 5 points for Leuzinger. DeLon Wright, 7. Jerry Evans had 11. Roy Gordon had 3. Larry Dennis, 2. Overton with 4. Ingram with 2. Julian Wheeler led all scorers with 12. And Donnelly Minor had 7. For Servite, they were replaced by Zeta. He had 6. Nicholas had 4. Both Adams and Supon had 3 apiece and 2 apiece for Leon and Russo.
Thank you for that scoring recap, Rashawn. As you mentioned, Leuzinger pretty much had their way with them in the first half. Looking to get a little better start, however, they can't get their first basket to go. So, the Olympians come back. Jerry Evans with the fall-away jumper, can't get it to go. DeZeta, one of the captains, pulls it down, gives it off to Russo. Russo working out of the double team. Nearly loses it, gives it over to number 11, Julian Leon. Saw his dad at halftime along with Wesley Adams' mom. As I mentioned, a couple of the Servite people I know only because my daughter attends Connolly, which is the girls' sister school, Catholic girls' school, sister school to Servite, a Catholic boys' school in Anaheim.
Yeah, about 800 all-boys school is Servite out there in Anaheim. Very rich football tradition. Huge rivals with Mater Dei.
Basket put up and in by Overton. And as we watch this little kid go by our position point, you know, somebody's just waiting for the kid to get hurt. These are big, big fellas out here, and if one of them runs into that kid, you know, it's going to be a catastrophe.
Absolutely right. You gotta these players in the heat of battle. It's very hard for them to protect themselves, let alone others. As Leon gets a 3, so 5 quick points for Leon here to start this second half. Overton looking to go off the bounce. Comes up a little bit short, but he'll go to the free throw line and shoot 2. As Leon picks up the personal, his second personal foul of this game. That's the first team foul for Servite here. or for Servite here in this second half, which is always impressed rather with the play of Overton. You talked about him a little bit earlier, Rufus, as he comes up short here on this first free throw. He's a guy that he just goes after it. He tries. He knows his niche, you know, and he acts accordingly. You know, he crashes the board. He's able to knock down a little mid-range jumper when given the opportunity, and obviously able to capitalize here at the free throw line. He gets 1 of 2.
Absolutely, he's a player, and you can expect to see him already getting some looks for some lower-level D1s. Larry Dennis called with the blocking foul on the play. Looks a bit incredulously at the official, John Henderson, on the call, but it does go against them. Wow, steal there by Julian Wheeler.
Wow,
Wheeler
with the
basket,
speed.
can't get it to go, laid it up too hard off the backboard. And
Minor
with the steal. Jerry Evans with it. Evans thinks about the three-pointer, gives it up, and forced out of bounds by Russo is Donnelly Minor.
And you talk about competitors. I don't think you'll find a tougher, scrappier competitor than Donnelly Minor. Just the ultimate competitor. I mean, this is a guy that if you're coaching, you want 12 of him on your team.
Absolutely. That shot put up by Minor doesn't go. Olympians flying through the air. Russo with it. Russo loses the handle, and it's going to stay with Servite.
And despite the score, Servite's still going at it. We talk about their scrappy nature and still diving, still giving it up, diving for loose balls.
Right now they're down by 33 at 58-25 here with 5:22 left in the third.
And we talk so much about Suppan as Leon tries to find some space. Nice tip there that time. Looked like that's Zeta.
The Zeta with the tip in. Makes it a 58-27 margin. Overton from 3. He knocks it down. Everything for the Olympians going tonight. And Reggie Morris, quite surprisingly, throws a bone to the Friars of Servite by calling a timeout at the 5:03 mark. They lead 61-26 on Hawthorne Lawndale's Community Cable, Channel 22.
Yeah, how about 6 points in the quarter for Overton? And Coach Reggie Morris wants to call a timeout here. This game, 61-26 with the score right now. Pretty much, you don't want to say it's completely out of reach. We've seen stranger things occur, but Leuzinger pretty much has this one, under control. But it's not about this game. It's about the future. It's about continuing on. It's about advancing here in these playoffs. And Reggie Morris right now trying to set a tone with his players. Regardless of the score, you can't give up. You can't have any let up, because you let up here in the second half, and before you know it, that's going to carry over into the second round. And before you know it, you're at home watching when you're one of the favorites to get to the Honda Center in March. So it's about taking care of your business and doing what it is that you have to do.
And Reggie keeps mixing the lineup. Jerry Evans with the block and the steal underneath the line right, brings it up right side, attacks the basket, cuts through, can't get it to drop, and now the Friars come the other way with the Zeta leading the break, and he draws the block on the play.
Devontae Papa Norton picking up the block there that time. Tough call. It looked like he got there, and that's the call Leuzinger had been getting in the first half. Not necessarily going to get it right here.
So Zeta with the free throw makes it a 61-28 ball game here in the third quarter. 4:40 left in the third.
Zeta gets them both. Obviously not coming out with the force that we seen them come out with in that second quarter.
Jerry Evans gets one up. Looks like he hurt a finger on the play, Rashawn. Evans, if you look at him holding his hand in obvious pain with his finger. And Reggie Morris sees that he's hurt, gets over and up off the bench.
DeAndre Ingram with the rebound. Look at Ingram. How about that?
That's number 21, DeAndre Ingram. And now DeLon Wright scores a basket, makes it 67-29.
And if you're Coach Kelly, as he just takes his final full timeout, just 1:30 left in the bag for him. This is that little spurt that he feared coming out of the locker room at halftime. His boys have definitely come out competing a little bit more here in this third quarter as opposed to the second quarter. But this is that spurt, at the beginning of a spurt that he probably dreaded coming out of the locker room at halftime. And he calls a quick timeout here to try to put a stop to it.
Well, so far, Rashawn, it's a 14-9 spurt here. 14-9 margin here in the first 4 minutes and 10 seconds of the third quarter. Olympians with 67 on the board right now. Dare I say, they're looking at a triple-digit night.
And they're knocking on the door. They're definitely knocking on the door, just 33 points away. And the way they've been scoring points tonight, they scored 30 in the second quarter. And the way this bunch has been scoring points tonight, you got to imagine that that Leuzinger would be able to do so. And if so, if they are able to do so, that'll be this third time. That'll be the third time this season that Servite has allowed an opponent to score over 100 points. Continue to put on the pressure here by Coach Reggie Morris, and I like it. You got to set a tone. You got to send a message to your boys.
DeAndre Ingram brings it down, gives it over to Overton. He gives it over to Devontae Norton. Great teamwork by the Olympians.
Ingram gambled there.
Wow. Can't get it to go. The official, Henderson, standing right in front of a vantage point, trying to look behind him. On the floor right now for Servite is Supan, number 15. John Russo, 30. 11, one of the captains, Julian Leon. 40 is Troy Nicholas. 25 is Ure. Jermaine Ure. So that's the squad they've got on the floor right now. Troy Nicholas must be an expert free throw shooter. They only put one man in the box. Nicholas misses it.
He's struggling tonight. Down. Just 2 of 8 from the free throw line is Nicholas tonight after that last miss.
That shot put up from three-point range doesn't go. Olympians come down with it. There's a big lead pass. Trying for the steal was John Russo, but the Olympians control, and Devontae Norton scores the basket. You got to get a ball up. Wes Adams on the floor now, looking for somebody against the pressure. Devontae Norton gives it over to Russo out top near the half court. They come to set a screen for him. He doesn't use it. He puts up a jumper. It doesn't go. Russo tries for the steal, then tries to steal a call.
Here comes Chris Mossberg into the game for the first time tonight for the Olympians.
Mossberg getting some uncustomary early
minutes
time in the game tonight.
That last time down, Coach Kelly's still coaching, trying to get his boys to run their motion offense. The shot taken by Russo is no good. Here's DeAndre Ingram with a nice rebound.
Puts it up and in.
And how about DeAndre? Hey, coming back from that thumb injury, this is the first time I've really seen him comfortable since the injury. And he's looked good tonight.
Shot doesn't fall for Aruya. Ingram is now hurt. Now they get a push and foul
against Servite. They give it to number 32. And in our program, that's Buddy Cheek, a junior. Devontae Norton with the fall-away jumper on the baseline. Score the basket. 75-29 now. 3/4 of a way to 100, and we still got 9 minutes of basketball left. That's about the only excitement the fans right now are looking to see, and that is, will the Olympians put 100 up tonight? Question is, will they do it here in the third quarter as they give it over to Overton, 77-29.
Always trailing the play. Overton, and you trail the play, usually going to get rewarded. DeAndre Ingram with the nice pass. Here's Russo from downtown.
Downtown with the three.
Yeah, too bad. His threes have been far and few in between. That's his first basket, Rufus, since the first quarter. Just his second basket tonight. He also hit a three early in the first quarter to start the game, and nothing since then until now.
Wow. Servite comes up with the steal. Adams, the official says, stepped on the baseline as he turned to make his drive up the right side of the court.
I think they're saying Wesley Adams never established position back in play. He was out of bounds and never established position back in play before grabbing that basketball that time, Rufus.
So they reset the clock to 21 instead of a fresh 35 for the Olympians.
So what they're saying there is Leuzinger Servite never had the possession. It's Papa Norton can't get the bounce. How about Mossberg in there being scrappy? Norton as well. We have foul. Looks like it's going to be Wes Adams.
I think the officials will confer. Well, they're going to give a foul to Servite.
35. They give it to
I
Zeta.
didn't see the foul. What I saw more so was two Olympians traveling on the play because they had dual possession and they fell with it. Colroy Gordon with the ball, brings it out top, dribbles around to the left side. It's knocked away so he can legally go and get it in the backcourt. Supan comes up with the steal. He drives behind the back pass. And boy, that's probably the highlight of the night for the Friars of Servite. Supan with the behind the back pass to the Zeta. He scores the basket, goes to the line for an opportunity at a three-point play.
How about that pass, huh? There was very little margin for error there that time for Supan. Not much of a passing lane there, but he whipped one in there behind the back. Zeta there for the finish and capitalizes to make it a three-point play.
Devontae Norton puts the shot up, it doesn't go. So, at the end of three, Leuzinger here at home in the first round of the 2009 CIF Division II AA playoff leads by a score of 77-35 as they outscored them.
Leuzinger won that quarter as well, 24-15.
24-15, man, your math is right on the money, Rashawn, right on the money.
24-15, Leuzinger winning that quarter once again, and even though the effort wasn't as spirited as we seen in that second quarter, they still came out, took care of their business, and outscored Servite by 9. And very, very small window of opportunity to work with if you're Servite. Had to make somewhat of a run there in that third quarter. Leuzinger didn't allow them to, and now with a 42-point lead here going into the final 8 minutes, obviously put themselves in a good position to head into the second round.
Trying to get a scoring update, excuse me, Rashawn, from the Lawndale Estancia game.
And in the second round, the winner of this game plays the winner of Artesia Canyon Springs. And so that should be an interesting matchup. Artesia, definitely not the Artesia of old. A couple years ago, they pretty much cleaned house, got rid of their coach, James Harden graduated. Renardo Sidney transferred to Fairfax. Malik Story was out of there as well. So different Artesia team than we've been accustomed to seeing in the last few years.
You mean it's a regular high school basketball program now?
Exactly. A regular high school basketball program now. Zeta in transitions. The big man showing he can finish.
And so Joe Gazeta starting to come alive here.
9 points in the half for Zeta. Here's Gordon coming off the curl. Nice attack. Zeta was right there. He used the basket as help there, did Corroy Gordon. Got Zeta right under the basket, was able to finish with the left hand.
Now on the other end, got a whistle and a foul on the play. This is going to go against the Olympians.
That's fourth personal foul for Roy Gordon here tonight. They're looking for the back door, at least Supan wide open. And he can't hit. I mean, he's just been off. He's been off the mark tonight. He hasn't had one of his better shooting nights. Hasn't really had much opportunity, though, with the way this game has flowed, especially in that first half. And Roy Gordon just fouled out of the game.
Yeah. And it's a function. Are you set? Is that number 5 on Gordon?
Yeah, that's number 5 on Gordon. So Coach Reggie Morris is going to have to find a substitute for him. 6:30 remaining here in this one.
Wow. Okay. Well, if Gordon goes out, it's Bradshaw. Okay, that was another one they didn't. Servite brings in number 5, Cody Beret, who's a captain. He's a senior. Supan goes to the bench. I'm not sure yet. I'm going to guess. Oh, here's what we got. We got a running clock, Rashawn. 40-point ball game. Clock runs. We don't see that too often. Chandler gets it, and he goes up. Because it's a 42-point ball game. Gives us a rare opportunity to talk about the mercy rule in CIF. Anytime the lead is 40 or more, you go into mercy, which means the clock doesn't stop for the rest of the game except on a timeout. That's why you see it continuing to run here on the free throw as our score is 80-37 now.
So clock running on these Friars here as Leuzinger literally running these guys out of town. But how about Coach Kelly? We talked to him before the game. What a class act he is. And we talked about him, and he didn't make any excuses about his record. This is second year there, but he really likes this junior group that he has. He really feels like these are the guys that this program is going to grow with under him. So really likes these guys. You talk about Supan and also talking about Russo. Feels like these guys are going to be the guys to get it done as this program tries to elevate it and take new heights. But he didn't make any excuses, and he said, you know what, I'm from the old school. With the record of 5-21, should we be in the playoffs? Probably not. You know, I'm from the school where, you know, if you win, you get in. But obviously with the rule changes or whatnot, Servite able to get an at-large bid into the playoffs this season. So it's obviously a different situation. Their paper back home at Orange County Register, they wrote an article about it and saying perhaps maybe Servite wasn't worthy of being into the playoffs, but they got in. Not much success, but they did get in. And so at the end of the day, there'll be something for these guys to grow on as this program goes forward.
And going out for probably the last time, John Russo, number 30, another senior player for him. They only had a couple of seniors on the squad. Akil Quinn with the handle gives it over to Devontae Norton. His shot from 3 doesn't go. Chandler chases it down. Mossberg has it. Mossberg's one of those guys that the crowd wants to see get a shot up. Doesn't on that possession. Clock continues to run mercifully. We're at 3:08 Now Garrett Coulson comes in as Joe DeZita, the senior captain, goes out having played the last game in his career at Servite High. Bradshaw throws it away. That shot put up, tap on the hand, no call. Now we come back the other way, Norton pushing it. He gives it off to the younger Minor, DeAndre Minor. And DeAndre Minor scores the basket to make it an 83-38 game now. Chris Urell, the senior, number 12, leaves the floor. So, Coach Kelly recognizing that this one's over. Of course, it's been over for a while now, but giving his seniors one last opportunity to get some applause from their home fans.
Yeah, a lot of guys getting some playing time on both sides of the basketball. Leuzinger as well. Coach Morris emptying his bench. A lot of smiles on that Leuzinger sideline. And Rufus, a far cry from last season. You know, we took that trek up there to Santa Barbara and
scored a basket for Akil Quinn. Makes it an 85-38 game now. And it's not too early to start thinking about that Olympian player of the game.
Yeah, not too early. And we got a lot of guys to choose from. As Quinn looking for the old-fashioned three-point play, he gets in. How about Akil Quinn? You know, it's a guy that's battled tremendous injuries, missed his entire season last year, came back this year, suffered a toe injury that had him missing some time, but persevered through all that, and see him getting some time here tonight as well. The backcourt violation. But we mentioned, but if we're talking about a far cry from last year, Rufus, we made the trip all the way down there to San Marcos a year ago, out in Santa Barbara. Leuzinger lost to San Marcos, a tough game, but they just didn't have it. And how much that team has grown since then. And with the additions of Wheeler and Minor have definitely helped. But how about the growth of Jerry Evans? You know, they talked about that in the paper earlier today as well. Mossberg had a run out. Ball goes off of his foot.
Somewhat of a bad pass to Mossberg, though. That pass by Minor thrown at Mossberg's feet, in all fairness to Chris. 10 seconds left in the game, 86-38. Looks like that may be our final. One last chance. Mossberg will give it up. Will that shot go? So, shot doesn't count. Our final here at Leuzinger High in the first round. The Olympians completely dominate the Friars of Servite by a final margin of 86-38. And quite frankly, other than the 23-13 first quarter score, it was actually never, ever close, Rashawn.
No, it never was. And thanks in part to that second quarter. When we keep talking about it, it was a dominant second quarter for the Olympians, outscoring Servite 30-7. Some more good news around these parts. Lawndale, 1-point win over Estancia tonight, so they advance. And you see a great effort. Jerry Evans coming over here and shaking hands with some of the fans, some of his family members over here. Big win for Leuzinger. And now it's where they play next. But I think the most important thing is, do they continue with this effort? And if so, this team is going to be a tough bunch to deal with throughout these playoffs.
A very tough bunch to deal with. Of course, they came into tonight's contest as the Bay League champions at 21-5 overall. They'll up that to 22-5. They were 9-1 in league. They had to have been considered a heavy favorite. They lived up to the expectations that were placed upon them. And of course, they end up also with a victory here in the first round by a margin of 86-38 as they thoroughly dominate an outclassed Servite Friar team. But as Rashawn Haylock mentioned, this is a Friar team that's a very young team, and you can expect that next year, as was last year, their effort will be much different and much better. They're a growing program under Tim Kelly, one of the nice young coaches in the business, and we wish the Fire program well as they head into their summer vacation as it relates to basketball. They'll get the summer league. They'll do a number of things to start rebuilding the program. Having said all that, let's talk about the Leuzinger Olympians for a minute. Boy, they go on. We'll see them Friday night. What we don't know right now, fans, is where we will see them. They will play either, there will be a coin flip with Canyon Springs if Canyon Springs won. And if Artesia won, that means they'll make the trip over to Lakewood Artesia, which is actually in Cerritos, but that's another story for another day, and so forth. So let's see what happens. But right now, let's take a pause for the cause on Hawthorne Lawndale's Community Cable Channel 22 as we try to line up a post-game interview for you.
And welcome back to our playoff coverage here on Channel 22 Sports. Leuzinger winning big over Servite here tonight in the first round of the playoffs, 86-38. I'm now here with Leuzinger head coach Reggie Morris. Coach, big win for you guys tonight, but me and Rufus were talking during the broadcast. That second quarter was amazing. You guys outscored them 30-7. You just blitzed them. They never recovered.
I can't really say that it was different than the first quarter, other than, we really got out and we ran, and I think we got into the flow of the game. And playing a team that you've never seen before, I think our guys probably wanted to fill them out and see what it is that they could do. And then once they got the hang of it, they went ahead and they played their best.
And despite the record, knowing where this team came from in the Trinity League, the likes of Mater Dei, Margarita, Orange Lutheran, did you make that a point to your players and let them know that, hey, these guys have played some tough teams?
Oh, we definitely made it a point to say that, even though they were 0-10 in league, that they were probably ready to step out of that. They play in the most difficult league in California, so they were ready to play against anybody. And, we just definitely want to make sure that we came in focused, knowing that we had a job to do, and I think we did a pretty good job.
Yeah, I noticed you wanted to keep them focused late in that second half. You took a timeout with your guys up by a lot, but it's still you got to prove that point. You got to continue to keep it on.
We definitely just want to keep getting better. We don't want this to be our last stop. So every night out, we want to get better and keep focusing on the task at hand, every possession, and not ease up.
Definitely a world of difference from last year this time, going out to Santa Barbara, coming here tonight with a home game, taking care of your business at home with a good win over a team from a very good league. You talk about Donnelly and Julian, the growth of Jerry Evans, but this team has grown tremendously. What has been the biggest difference? As I know you guys didn't want your season to end here tonight, you want to keep going, but there's been a tremendous difference in your bunch.
I think they're starting to really figure out the chemistry, where guys are supposed to be, how to help guys that get beat, to just keep on playing and not worry about individual statistics. They're starting to play as a team that wants to accomplish a big goal. So hopefully we can keep that up, and then we can win this next game on Friday.
Hey, thanks a lot, Coach, for your time. Congratulations on the win. That's Coach Reggie Morris. Leuzinger winning it here tonight in the first round, 86-38 over Servite. Our coverage of Leuzinger High School Olympians basketball right here on Channel 22 Sports. The first round of the playoffs will continue right after this. Welcome back to Leuzinger High School. The Olympians winning here in the first round tonight over Servite. I'm joined now by Jerry Evans. Big win for you guys tonight. There's an article about you out in the Daily Breeze today. Coach Morris talked about, as Jerry goes, we go. 13 points tonight. You really started it out early tonight. Was that the point to get yourself going early?
Yes, I just wanted to get my teammates involved. I had a mission. My mission was just to try to get as many rebounds as I could. There was a big team, and get my teammates involved. We got out and ran, got easy points. That built the momentum. A couple dunks in the game that really boosted my teammates up. We was able to get down the floor, defend, get steals. We was just feeding off the crowd,
And that second quarter, you guys outscored Servite 30-7. What happened in that quarter? It seems like you guys were just able to blitz them, and they never recovered from that.
Man, I didn't even know that. But, man, I didn't know 30-7, but Hard work, and we put in a lot of work, and it's finally paying off. This is the time to show it too.
Obviously, this is a big time during the season. Some people are saying maybe you guys got slighted by being ranked number 2 in your division as opposed to being ranked number 1. What's the mission for this group going forward?
The mission is take one game at a time, make sure we're not looking in the finals. We want to get there, but we just want to take it one game at a time just to make sure we get there, you know. We started setting goals for later on. That's how we end up losing. We just got to come out. Our mission is to win the next game. You know, it ain't no we're about to go win CIF. We just one game at a time.
This season has been strangely different from last year. Some would even call this group dominant, this group that you guys have this year. What's been the difference from last year to this year?
The team chemistry, you know, we all on the same page. We have one goal, that's to win. So we come out every night, give it our all every night, and it pays off. You know, we work hard every day in practice just like everybody else, and it's finally showing on the court.
Hey, good stuff, Jerry. Congratulations on Friday night. Appreciate the time. It's Jerry Evans, 13 points tonight in the win. Leuzinger knocking off Servite here in the first round at the Lou House. We'll be right back after this.
All right, fans, we're back here at Lou House again, our final. 86-38, the Leuzinger Olympians completely dominate the Friars of Servite in this first round CIF Division II AA basketball game, the opening round of playoffs. So the Olympians will play again on Friday night. Rufus Washington along with Rashawn Haylock. Rashawn, it was a heck of a game.
Yeah, it definitely was. The blitz is what I like to call it. I've been calling it here in the post-game part of our broadcast tonight. The blitz that Leuzinger put on Servite in that second quarter, outscoring them by 30-7. That really opened up the game. We've been talking about the second and the third quarters that Leuzinger has played throughout the season, at least in the games that we've been here covering them here on Channel 22 Sports, and they definitely did that tonight. They opened things up here in the second quarter tonight, and Servite seriously never, ever was able to recover from that. Leuzinger, with their defense, was able to take Servite out of everything that they wanted to do. Not sure if they even ran anything in that second quarter, as strange as that sounds, but Leuzinger got after it defensively. They took them out of pretty much everything that they wanted to do. If the Friars were able to get a shot off, it was a defensive rebound, which Leuzinger was able to corral, and it led to a run out. And there was run out after run out, and Jerry Evans put together a back-to-back dunks during that 30-7 run in the second quarter, and that's really where the Olympians took over this game and never looked back.
Absolutely, and of course, again, with a final of 86-38, another thing that meant is that the starters should be well rested for Friday because they rested the whole fourth quarter tonight. They basically played 3 games. Reggie, of course, substituting liberally after the game was no longer in question. As you say, from the third quarter on, the Olympians clearly dominated. The road is expected to get a little bit harder. Again, these are the playoffs. This was first round game. Okay, that's behind you. You got to get ready in 2 nights to play again an opponent as yet unknown. I'm certain they will know in the morning whether it's Lakewood, Artesia, or Canyon Springs. One way or the other, they may be at home or they may be traveling. We don't know for sure, but here's one thing we are sure of. Wherever they are, we're going to be there, and we want you to be there with us. Still got a little unfinished business we're going to wrap up right now, and that's our play of the game. And right now, much like a boxing match, Rashawn and I have a split decision. I'm going to let Rashawn go first with his play of the game, and I'll come with mine.
Yeah, split decision. From my side of things, I just talked to this young man during the post game, Jerry Evans. 13 points tonight to lead this Leuzinger team in scoring. Not really a lot of points, but it was a balanced attack tonight, and Evans averaging just under 16 points per contest for the season. Had 13 tonight, but it's the way he got those 13. He got them early, and he really got Leuzinger going in the early going. We talked about those dunks for those runouts that he had in that second quarter. He was able to set a tone offensively from the beginning, and that pretty much fueled Leuzinger for the duration of the ball game. You know, Coach Morris always talks about how Jerry goes, we go. Jerry definitely established himself as a presence in the early going, and I think his teammates really fed off that.
Okay, my vote, going the other way, since Rashawn just spent 5 minutes selling his vote to you, I'm going to be real short and real simple. First of all, any guy on this team on any given night can be player of the game, and we know that, and we just have fun with it, fans. I want to say, though, I thought tonight that Julian Wheeler had an outstanding game as well.
I think early on he contributed. His scoring was consistent throughout the first 3 periods when he was in there. Not only that, he was the energy player for him tonight. And boy, he kept it going. He created a couple of turnovers and created breaks and also found a couple other partners. So we don't have a unanimous vote tonight, but that's all the better for the Olympians. That means 2 guys get the privilege of being recognized as our players of the game, Jerry Evans and Julian Wheeler. Hey fans, for Rashawn Haylock, I'm Rufus Washington, reminding you that the final over at Lawndale, before we get out of here, the Lawndale Cardinals beat Estancia by a score of 72-71. So they will also advance, and you will also see them somewhere on Hawthorne Lawndale's Community Cable Channel 22. But for us, it's a wrap tonight with the final of Leuzinger 86-38. And guess what? As we said and as promised, we will see you on Friday night with round 2 of the CIF Southern Section Playoffs. For everybody here at Leuzinger High School, I'm Rufus Washington, along with Rashawn Haylock, saying good night.